The love messages are I can't recover from our last conversation. This person can't seem to recover from the last conversation you guys had. They feel like they owe you an apology on whatever conversation you guys had. And they also want to reconcile. But they don't know if you guys can recover from everything and get this connection back. Because there's a lot of walls built up between you two. The both of you guys want to be together, but whatever the last conversation was, it plays a big part on you guys' relationship. You guys are having a hard time starting from there because this talk was about honesty, and it was also about if this relationship going to genuinely last. They thinking that bearing a gift to start up this talk y'all need to have would help, but they don't think that's going to work because they've done that before. This conversation you guys had made this person feel like they can't forget about it. It's hard for them to move on from it. It's something that's continuously repeating in their mind. That's because they never really said what they needed to say. They left this conversation with many questions in the air. That's why they're having a hard time letting it go. Because this wasn't a conversation when they were supposed to just walk away from. You waited for a while so that you guys can finish this conversation, but they're too immature to sit down and talk to you about it. It was something that they were running away from. It was a conversation that they didn't really want to have. The only way this person will get this out of their head is unless they reach out to you and talk about it. Other than that, they're not letting it go. It's too hard for them to let it go and leave it just how the way it is. Yeah, they probably could have cut you off during the conversation. They probably wasn't being considerate. They weren't listening. They weren't understanding. Could have been angry about it. You probably wanted a conversation and it ended up turning out to be an argument. And that's because this person didn't want to talk about it. So they were defensive. They weren't hearing where you were coming from. They weren't trying to hear it because they felt like they were being put on the spot. They were being questioned about how the way they move, because this is a player and you felt like this person was moving messy. That's why you felt like you needed to have this conversation with them. It could have came off to you as if they wanted something with you, but how the way this person was coming at you, they were giving you too much of this player energy. It's like this person had to choose to continue to be a player or stay with you to build this foundation. And they didn't like that because they felt like they were being cornered. They got angry because they didn't want to make a decision. And they felt like you were making a decision for them to leave this relationship. They enjoyed being in the streets, even though they enjoyed being with you. You know. They can't let go of what you said because they never wanted to end this. You gave this person a while to see if they'll change, to see if they move different. But it's like they kept on getting worse. You know, they were showing you more and more red flags on why you shouldn't be with them. And I feel like that last conversation was showing you where this person really want to be. And when it felt like to you they weren't making a choice, you made it for them. And they feel like the conversation isn't finished because that wasn't the decision that they made. You made it. Because they actually wanted to stay. They feel like you're going to reject them if they come towards you. That you're done conversating with them about this. Because you haven't reached out ever since. You haven't said anything to this person since that last time. When they were feeling like you were making the decision to leave, this is when they were getting angry, so they could have said some things to you, cutting you off on what you needed to say, you know, just being petty. And that's because they knew that you were into things with them. Even though they didn't want that to happen, they didn't speak up on it. But that's because this person still is a player. And they don't like to be told what to do. They don't like to be questioned. They got angry because they felt like they weren't going to get their way with you anymore. That's why they didn't choose. They like to be in control, so they like to make those kind of decisions. They don't like for you to do it. They like to set the tone on how they want the relationship to be. But you weren't having that. They're trapped in their head because they didn't say what they really wanted to say. They weren't speaking from the heart. They were speaking out of anger. You probably was asking for the truth about something. They were being passive, deflecting, try to make it seem like they ain't hiding nothing from you. Made it seem like you was tripping. It ain't what you thinking. They like to deny and lie about a lot of shit. And they keep spying on you. They know that you stopped being with them because you felt like they was too toxic. And when this person spies on you, they want to say something. But then they replay about the last conversation y'all had and it didn't go well at all. So they just sit there and spy. They don't say anything. Yeah, they know that you don't want anything to do with them. This is why they watch you from a distance. They know that you don't even trust them like that anymore. Yeah, they feel like you said what you needed to say and you dipped. On whatever this person said to you, that was your answer. All the shit that they was unwilling to tell you and give you the truth about, that was your answer. So you dipped. They haven't really been happy since you've been gone. This conversation had got way out of hand. And I feel like it was something that you were kind of expecting because you know that this person, because you know how this person can get. They have problem solving issues with you. They like to deflect a lot. They like to victimize themselves. You knew all that. But you didn't know that this conversation was going to just change up so quick. The conversation could have been kind of a little calm, but then all of a sudden it just went left. And I feel like this person was saying something to you to make you feel like, fuck it. They felt like they weren't in control of that time. That's the reason why they was acting the way they were. Instead of being compassionate, fair, understanding, and really hear you out, no. This person was feeling like you didn't have a right to say what you needed to say. It's like they were trying to shut you up because they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear how the way you felt, how hurt you felt. This person is incompassionate too. They don't show too much sympathy. But even though they was being that way, they wanted to be with you. They never really wanted this relationship to end. But it could be late for some of you guys for this person to tell you now, because you gave this person time to make it right. And they felt like they was too good to do it. Or they didn't have to, didn't want to. This is why justice is being served, because they know they shouldn't have left things the way they did. And they shouldn't have reacted the way they did, because it wasn't their truth. They were speaking out of anger, manipulation, guilty conscience. Whatever you said to this person, it wasn't just the truth. You were stating facts. And they couldn't fight you with that. Either they were going to be a real man, a real woman, and tell you the honest truth about that shit, or they were going to choose the other way and be weak about it and run off. And that's the path that they chose. Wasn't the right one, but now they got to pay for it. And this is an issue. This person isn't speaking from their heart. If they would have done that, y'all wouldn't be here. Now this is stuck in their head and they can't recover from it. I'll see y'all next reading. Love and peace.